Now we'll talk about how to go for subqueries. Okay. So let me start with the subqueries. Example 1, example 2, example 3, and many more examples if you want. Okay. Now we'll go with subqueries. In these subqueries, what you see here, there's a data set is given. Can you see this, guys? What data set is given? It is by country and is given by laptop and number of units sold out. Right. First of all, I'll go for importing this subquery data 1. That is called laptop sales. Okay. So we call this as a laptop sales table. So how to go for getting this data set here? What light here? As PD. Then right. Now, what should be your file path? What should the file path? Don't remember. चलो कोई नहीं खुद से लिख देते हैं. R, then going back to the folder, then the file name dot xlsx. Yes or no? The file which you want to read now, that is called laptop underscore sales. What do you write here? PD dot read underscore xl bracket start. What is the file path name? And what is the sheet name you will write here? What is the sheet name, guys? Right. Now, after this, if you call this table, you see the output is coming like this. Are you getting this, guys? Clear now? Now, what is called subqueries? I'll show you here. This is what the table which is given. This is called table 1. From the same table, I got another table through pivot table, which is going to give me the output of what? Country-wise, what the total number of units sold out. Can you see this? So how to write your total units sold out? What will do here? We look up. We look up at what? To get the values here, right? What is going to fix in this case? You call them down. And how to get the market share here? You will say this has to be divided by total sales. You got this here? Then you can make it percentage here. Yes or no, guys? Are you getting this? This is how you get the market share. So first, from this table, you get the summary output. Then you join this table to this summary output to get the units sold out. And then you go for units sold to total units sold out to get the market share. Same thing we want to achieve using what? So how will you go for doing that? In the step 1, what will you do? In the step 1, you will go for summarizing the table. Right, guys? So how will you go for summarizing this table here?
Group by.
So how to write this program for group by here? Tell me. So let's say laptop underscore sales underscore summary. Right? So which is the table you will go for using group by here? The table name is laptop sales. Right? Then you will use what? Group by is the function. Yes or no, guys? Now, group by over what? Which is the column name? Country. Can you see this, guys, here? What is the field name? Country. Now, after country, what you will write here, guys? As underscore index is equal to false. If you don't use false, it will never go for grouping this. Right? Then what you will use here next? Called dot aggregate, where you write this total column name is what? Total units sold is equal to, how would you call this? Which column you will go for applying this? Units sold. So the column name is units sold. And what aggregate function will use here? Sum. Does it make sense, guys? Now, if you call this table name, this table name has come up as what? This is country-wise total units sold. So let me put this also in capital. Total units sold. Perfect. So now step 2. In the step 2, what will you do now, guys? Here, what you'll do now? You'll merge this summary table with what laptop cells. So now you call this table name as what? Version 1. Now you will say pd dot merge. What is the left table name? Laptop underscore. What is the right table name? Summary. Right? Now, how? What will do here? How is going to be? Left.
Left one.
Now, on. What is the common field?
Country.
Are you getting this, guys? Now, if you run this program, you see this is coming here. Now, in this, you have to add what? The new field. What is called field name? How would you get this market share? This table. What is the column name? Should be divided by. What is the column name? Right? If I run this program, did I get my market share? But how to get the market share into percentage? What we'll do here? First, you have to close this parenthesis. Then you have to use the function called map. Map with which function will you use, guys, here? Lambda. Right? Lambda with number, you need to give this number into format. What format you will give it here? You will be giving this format as colon. You will go for 1000 comma separator dot two decimal values, and you will say that in a percentage format here. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Then you have to write dot format, and how will you get the format? To the value of n, which you have defined here. Understood? Soon after, if you call this dataset here, you can see dataset is coming in decimal values. Making sense now? Is it same as what your Excel file says? 19.94, 4.34%, which is coming here as well. Got it? Now we'll do the second example of subqueries. One more subquery will do it here, right? In this subquery, which data set will go for? Subquery data 2. So I'll just call this as subquery data 2. And what would be this? Laptop year underscore sales. Now, if you run this program, you see your laptop country and year wise sales is given. Now this time we want to see as what? Country and year wise total sales and country and year wise market share of the product. So how to get that using your Excel file first? You are given data like this, where you have to get the data by your country, by your year, and you want to get the total sum of sales. Can you see this? So how do you go for presenting this? You would be presenting this by repeat all item label. This is how the data which has come up. This is where you see this is going to be your what? Total sales. Okay. Did you get this, guys? Total sales, how it is coming? Insert, call this as a mix. So how do you mix this? This ampersand this. Understood now, guys? So how to get this output here for total underscore sales? Tell me, guys, how to get this? We look up. We look up of what? What is the lookup value? Country ampersand year over what? Did you get this here, guys? Soon after this, you go for getting this as what? Market share. So how to get the market share now? This divided by this. And now you can make them into which percentage format? With two decimal values. Understood now? Got it? So how to get this output using your Python programming. So soon after you get this, what is the next step? You'll do it here. Niranjan, is everything fine? What's your name? Rishikesh, is everything fine? Okay. Okay. So step 1, what will you do now, guys? First, tell me. We'll first summarize this data. So how would you go for summarizing this data? You will take this table, then you will use what? Dot as what? Group by. Bracket start. In the bracket, this time we'll take how many fields? What are those two fields? Country and year. Is this okay? Then what is the next thing? We'll do it here. 1 minute, guys. Right. So then after this, what you'll do here, guys, is equal to false or true. Very good. Then you will use the function name as what, guys? Aggregate by what? What is the field name you'll give it here? And this will take as what, guys? How do you go for creating these guys? Total sales based on what, guys? Am I writing the right way? So what should I write here? Total sales equal to bracket start. You will write the field name as what? Sales with the function name
Oh,
is what?
sum.
Now if I call this table, it is coming as what? Where I got the error, guys, here?
Group by. Spelling of
Okay, now if you run this program, did you get the output? Now, in the step 2, what will you do now? Tell me, guys. In step 2, you will go for making this table as what? Version 1 by using what? pd dot merge. What was the left table here? Right. What is the right table here? Right. And how is going to what, guys, here? Then on is going to what, guys? Country and here. Right. Now, if you call this table here, you get the output is coming. Yes or no? Now, how to get this market share? What will do here? To get as what? Market share. What will do now? This table, what will write the field name? That has to be divided by what is the field name? Right? Now, how to call this into? You'll use what? Map, then lambda n colon. You will give this syntax, right? So now, if I apply that, I should be able to see my market share. Yes or no? Clear now? Understood, guys? Right. Now, what we'll do here, how to go for cleaning this? Always go to cell, choose this all output as clear. Now we'll do the third one is the last subquery by examples. So let me show you here. In this subquery by examples, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this table here. What's the table name is here? Made store data. Yes or no? So we'll be using this table now. Feeling bored?
No, sir.
You're going for 3 and you call this table name as what? Made underscore Australia. Now, if you run this program, what you see, your made Australia table has been imported. Can you see this? So how many records have been imported here? 5112 records have been imported. Now, we want to get something called made Australia summary. So how would you go for getting made Australia summary? You will use what? Made underscore Australia. Okay. Dot group by bracket start. What is the field name? Will take it here. State underscore code. Then comma. The next field name is company. Does it make sense, guys? Everyone? Can you see how do we write the summary here? Company. Then what do we write here? Right. Are you getting this, guys? As index aggregate. Now I'll say that subscribers. What I'll take here field name is customer underscore ID. And what should I take this aggregate here? As count. Now, if I call this program over here, is this going to run? Because we have to close one more bracket to this. Does it make sense? Now, what we want to achieve here, state code wise, companies market share by what? The population. So you will go for creating another summary out of this? Yes or no? So this is going to be your step one. Now in the step two, what we'll do here? Now you will say this is going to be version 1. Yes or no? So how would you apply the same table group by state code wise? You want to get as what? Subscribers, call as what? Total underscore subscribers, and the field is subscribers, should be going as what? Sum. If I run this program, I can see the output is coming what? State code wise, what is the total subscriber base? Now how to get this market share? What will you do here in this case? Step 3. Step 3 is all about merging table. Yes or no? To merge table, to get this as what? Made summary version 2, which is going to pd dot merge. What is the left table is going to be? What is the right table is going to be? Made Australia summary version 1. Then how is going to work, guys?
Left.
Right? And on is going to work, guys, here. Yes or no? So ultimately, you have your table is coming. Right? Now how to get this market share? This table with, you will say, market share. So how to get the market share? What we'll do here? First, this table. What is the field name? Subs. Should be divided by what? Yes or no? Then you have to use what? You will use that dot what? You will use what? And you will use what? Lambda with what? And you'll copy the Is this okay now, guys? If I run this program, did I get the market share is coming? Right? Right. Now we'll talk about here how to go for self join. Okay. Before going for the self join, so let me show you this PPT here. So how to go for multi-column join is clear to all of you. Now we'll go for self join. In self join, there is a table is given. Could you please tell me who is the managers to Martin? And who is the Black's manager?
Yes.
So you got to find out what? Managers manager, employees manager, and managers manager. You want to get that out from the same table, which is called employee manager table. So how to go for doing that, guys? So ultimately your output will come like this. So Martin's manager is Blake and Blake's manager is King. This is how the answer should come. Yes or no? Look at this table. Look at this particular output. The way the output is coming, we want to get the same output. So how to go for getting the same output? Using what? Your Python programming. So for the self join, which is the table you're going to import now, self join data table, right? So how to go for importing this table here? Guys, आप लोग जिस तरह से चेहरा दिखा रहे हो यहाँ पे, मुझे लग रहा है कि सब बोल रहे हो बंद करो, अभी जाना है यहाँ से. Is it true? Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you call this as employee underscore manager, right? And what is the table name will go for? Self join data. Right. Let me run this program, see what is happening. Yes, it is coming. Now what we have to do here, guys, in this, we want to get employee, manager, and manager from the employee manager dataset. Yes or no? So what will you do in this case, guys? You are going to join the same table. Yes or no? Right? So how would you go for making this? Let's say employee, manager, managers, manager is the table name. Now you will write what? PD dot merge. Before that, what do you write here? Import pandas as what? PD. Then import numpy as np. Tomorrow, guys, we'll have a separate session only for numpy. Okay. So PD dot what? Merge. Right? Then bracket start. What is the left table go for writing here, guys? What's the left table name? Manager. What is the right table here? Right? So how do you join this table? How is going to be? Left table. On is what, guys? Guys, how to give this? You will say left underscore on. So what is the left table on? Which is going to be your manager ID. And what should the right table on? Is equal to, is the same spelling? Look at there. This is employee ID, this is manager ID. Perfect. Now you will call this table name here. Does it give the right output for Martin? Blake's manager is who? King. Are you getting this, guys? So how do you write this? Left underscore on is equal to manager ID. On right underscore on is equal to employee ID. So this is how you are merging these two tables. Clear now? Now we'll talk about here what is the cross join. What is cross join, guys? Tell me. Okay, I'll just copy paste this code to show you here. The first table is having what, guys? Student details, which is having S1, S2, S3 for 2019 course, and there's a key you have to pass each table as a key. Otherwise, you cannot make cross join. In SQL, you can simply cross join table, but in Python, you have to pass on key as a hard coded value of 1. That means this table is also having a key of 1. This table is also having a key of 1. Then you're printing this table. This table is having student ID. This table is having product name, sales, and the key. Do you think is there any relationship between student ID and product name? No. Is there any relationship between year to sales? No. Is there any relationship between course to other fields? No. That means there is no common field in both the tables. In such cases, when you want to join these two tables, you would be joining these two tables using what? The common field called key. So how to do this? You write the program here called all details equal pd.merge. Left table equals student details. Right table is this. On what is the common field? Key. And you can use your dot drop key is equal to 1. Now if you run this program, you can see the output is coming with how many records? 15 records. Why? Because each record will from this table it will have 5. So there are 3 records. 3 into 5 is going to be 15 records. So somebody is going to ask you tomorrow how to go for making your cross join. You have to do that. You have to say that cross join means there is no relationship between, there is no common field between two tables. Hence we have to define a hard coded column called key to the first table, second table. Then you have to merge these two tables using the key, and you can use drop key equal to key is 1. If you do that, you can easily see that the cross join is happening, and automatically you're getting this number of records are going to be the cross join records. Now the next is coming as your null join. No worry. So now we'll start with what, guys? Null join. Okay. Okay. In null join, what we have to do here, we have given some data. So for null join, we have null join data 1, null join data 2, null join data 3, null join data 4 is given. So that means 4 data we have to import, and we have to understand in real time what happens when you go for importing the data for null join, right? So now let me go for importing this data quickly to show you here. Guys, if you feel like it is too much today, I can stop it, no problem. Too much today?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes.
Shall I tell you one thing, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir, after null join, we can stop. And seeing your health also, it is important.
So next year.
I want to finish this today because as per the schedule, we should be doing tomorrow as a session 4. We have to finish your Python maximum before Tuesday. After that, I don't have any slots available. Right? I can definitely take a break after Tuesday, but I have to finish your Python before Tuesday. So let me finish this today. I'll give it after this. अच्छा देखिए. So guys, where we got the error? Because it is written in capital. Null join data 1. Okay, so now if I run this program, I can see these two tables. Can you see this, guys? Right? Now you tell me, if I take this table to this table, tell me, guys, how many records are common in both the table? Whatever is common, just make it red. Okay? What is common here? This is also common. Yes or no? This is also common. Right. What is not common? 5, 6, which is not common from which table? From this table. Right? What is the common field in both the table?
Customer ID.
Customer ID. Now, we want to join these two tables by what? Understood now? We'll see what is happening. If you go for inner join, logically inner join, how many records should come? 4, 3, 7, 3, 10 should be coming. Now we'll see what is happening. Does it give me 10 or not? We'll understand that. So first of all, since we have this, we will say null join merge 1. Okay. What will I write here? pd dot merge. So before that, what you have to write here? Import pandas as pd. You might be thinking, why are we writing this multiple times? I'll tell you why. Okay. So then pd dot merge, you have to define what? Left. Left is what, guys? Null join data 1. Then right is what, guys? Right. How is what, guys? Inner. On is what, guys?
Customer ID.
Now you are trying to get the result using what? Inner join. Null values in inner join. Yes or no? Are you getting this? If you run this program, how many records are coming? Tell me. Is it
18 will
coming?
come.
So how many records you said it will come? 10. Why it is coming 18? Why it is coming 18?
Because the null
This null
on
is
the
going
list
to
is-
have many to many relationship. So it is 2, it is 4. 2 into 4 is going to what? So can you see this is coming as null? Are you getting this? Now you might be
Yes, sir.
thinking, chalo theek hai. Inner join mein nahi hua. We'll see in full join. So in full join, what will happen? You will use as what, guys? How many records are coming? 20. Now the question is coming, why 20 is coming? Because there are 2 records are there. So you can say Python consider null values in both the data sets as many to many relationship. Yes or no? Understood? Chalo. और एक एग्जांपल करके देखते हैं। सो नल जॉइन का एक टेस्ट करते हैं। इसको मिला के कितने बार आपका पाइथन का क्लास हो गया? सॉरी गाइस, okay, look at here. Now if you run this program, what do you see in both the table? Let me copy this table and paste it here. Tell me guys, look at here, look at here. What is common in both the table?
Customer ID.
So this is common. Then from this to this is common, right? From this to this is also common, right? From this to this is also common. Yes or no? So tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 records are common in both the tables. So from the left table, how many nulls are there? How many nulls are here? So tell me, if you go for inner join, how many records will come?
18.
18 records will come. It is actually going to be, guys, how many records? 18 records. Now I'll show you how these 18 records are coming. I'll show you. Right? So you'll go with which table here? 3 and
4.
what is the common field? Can you see this? How many records are coming? Now in full join, how many records will come? Tell me guys, in full join, how many records will come?
19, sir.
Look at here. These 2 will come, yes or no? It is going to be how many records? 20. From
21.
this is 2 records?
18.
22.
22.
Why I got the error, guys?
Out, sir.
Out.
How many records are coming now?
22.
Understood? So if somebody is going to ask you tomorrow, can you answer that? So guys, we're going to start with the relationship concept. So whenever we go for joining two tables, we have to understand what is the common field in both the tables. And in the common field, looking at the record which is matching to both the tables, how to look for those matching is a relationship we'll be talking about in the class now. What we'll do here, when it's a relationship, it is called one-to-one relationship. In this two table, one table is given as a student ID and the student name. S1, S2, S3 is for Preetham, Pravi and Padmini. These are the 3 different students. If I really look for the other table, which is given as student ID S1, S2, S3 and their education background. If you want to join this two table, you would be joining this two table by what? Student ID. So how would you make the relationship between the student ID? It is going to S1 to S1, S2 to S2 and S3 to S3, which is called one-to-one relationship. And ultimately, how many output is going to come in here? 3 records where you get student ID 1, 2, 3, their name and the education details, which is coming in the final output of the table. Are you getting this, guys? When it's a one-to-many relationship, in the left table, it is given your student ID and the student name. And in the right table, it is given student ID and the application details, right? For S1 student ID, which is given the tool as SAS, R and Python. Can you see this, guys? Same thing for S2 is also given. Same thing for S3 is also given. Now, if you want to make a relationship between these two tables, it is going to be what? Student ID. Now, how this relationship is going to come up? From the left to the right, which is going to consider as one-to-many relationship. For S1 will repeat for how many times? 3 times. And S2 will repeat for how many times? 3 times. And S3 will also repeat 3 times. So how many records will come when you join? This table is going to get you as 9 records. How these records are going to present? Student ID 1 is for Preetham, has opted for the tool as what? SAS, R and Python. Same thing for student ID 2 for Ravi is for SAS, W and Power BI is given accordingly, which you have joined and you got this output there. Does it make sense, guys? Same way, if you take the student ID and the tool into the left table and student details in the right table, this is called many-to-one relationship. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Right? So ultimately, how many records will come? It will also give you 9 records. Yes or no? Clear? If you have two tables like this, one table is given employee and their monthly salary for the month January and February, and the salary is given here. Now every employee, they have different heads of expenses which is coming. For example, Pritham is spending this money to what? Grocery, rent, personal expenses, as well as the savings. Now, what you see here, Pritham has 4 heads of expenses are there. And how much salary contribution is going for those expenses in a month is for groceries for 20%, rent is for 20%, personal expense for 10%, and savings is for 50%. Total is 100%. Are you getting it? So when you go for taking Pritham's salary for January, it will be distributed among what? 5 different heads. Same thing for Pritham's salary for February is also going to head for what? 4 different heads here. Yes or no? So ultimately, it is going to get us what? January to many relationship, February to many relationship. Does it make sense? Is this clear now? So ultimately, how many records will come for Pritham in January? 4 records. Pritham in February salaries for 4 records. Total Pritham is 8 records. For Ravi, it is going to be 2020 January is 5 records. February is 5 records. Total is 10 records. So total output will come of how many records? 18 records. Does it make sense, guys? How to go for many-to-many relationship? Now, guys, we'll have a test. Ready for the test? If you join these two tables, what type of relationship is going to built in? 1 to 1. And how many records are going to come in, guys, here?
8.
Very good. So now if you go for joining these two tables, what is a common field?
Players
And
ID.
what type of relationship is going to build up?
One to many.
One to many.
Very good. And how many records will come? It will come 16 records. Understood? Now, if you go for making a relationship like this, what kind of relation is going to build up?
Many to one.
How many records will come? Are you getting this? If you go for joining these two tables, what type of relations is going to build up?
Many to many.
Many. For India, how many records will come? Sorry? 12 records. And India NatWest, how many records will come?
4.
5.
4 records. And for Australia, how many records will come?
9.
Right. And for Australia City Global, how many records will come? 3 records.
3.
So total, how many records will come if you join these two tables?
21.
Are you getting this, guys? Understood now? Right. So we'll have a scenario-based test. There is a table is given, patient ID as what? P1, P1 and P3, P3. Can you see this? Another table is given as what? P1, P2, P2, P2. So both the tables, how many records are there in both the tables? 4 records each.
4 each.
Now, in the first table, patient ID 1, P1, P1, and second table, patient ID, what type of relationship is for P1? Many to one.
Many to one.
If you join these two tables, how many records will come? If you join these two tables for P1, how many records will come? Only for P1.
8.
2 records?
2.
Okay. Then for
Total number 8
P3,
records.
2 records.
2.
And for P2, how many records?
3.
So total, how many records will come?
7.
Understood now? So it is going to give you a 7 records. P3, which is the left null value. P2 is the right null value. Understood? Same way, if you have these two tables, tell me how many records will come for P1.
5. 4. 6.
P1 will have 6. What type of relationship is for P1?
Many to many.
Many to many. And for P3?
Many to one. 3.
So how many records will come under
3.
3? And for P1 is how many records?
1.
So ultimately, how many records will come now?
4.
9.
9. My daughter is looking at this. She might be thinking it is abacus. It is not abacus. Okay. So now, if you look at these two tables, guys, there is a test for you. You tell me how many records will come for A only. And for C, how many records will come?
4.
6.
4 records for A.
Okay. And for C?
5.
6 records.
6. Okay. And for D?
1.
And for E?
P1.
For E, how many records will come?
4.
4.
And for F, how many records will come?
1.
And for J?
3.
And for B?
16.
4.
Okay. Now tell me, over this, how many records will come for inner join? Inner join, how many records will come? Somebody says 33.
9 records.
Inner join. So right answer is what? 33 records are there, right? Full join? Yes or no?
40.
Understood? Unmatched join. Understood, guys?
7.
7.
Now you tell me, how many records will come for left join? 35 records will come. 33 plus 2 null records are there, right? For D and F. Left null is going to be 2. Right join, how many records will come? 38. Right null. Is this clear? Okay. So now guys, we will be doing this relationship concept using what? Your Python programming. Right. So guys, what we'll do here, relationship are how many types, guys? What is that? Second one is, third one is, fourth one is many to many. Now, what we will do here, we'll be taking those tables to be imported for relationship. Where you can see your table, guys, here. So you would be seeing your table here. Inside this, in the raw data, you have given us relationship data, right? So I want to read this data now to my Python environment. What I'll do first, I'll be opening this file where I have given this table called players score and players details, match score, series score, and players score contribution. I want to go for importing these tables to what? To my Python environment. First of all, I'll copy this code. I'll be moving to this code path here. What I write here? Import pandas as what? PD. Then import numpy as np. Then you will go for giving this file path. So how will you go for giving this file path? You would be giving the file path as what? R, then stating to, right. What is the file name? We'll go for writing this here. Copy this dot xlsx, right? Now, the first table which you want to import, what is the table name you want to import now? Players score, right? So I'll say here, players score. How do you write this, guys, here to read the data? PD read underscore excel bracket start. You will choose as what? File path. With what the sheet name will go for writing here, guys? Sorry, this is going to be this here. Right. Then what is the next table go for importing now, guys, one by one? You tell me, I'll write it down. Right. So next is what? Right. Next is what? Right. Then perfect. Then what? Then let's take all this table here. I know, guys, it is boring when I'm doing these things, and you are looking at my screen means you will be feeling bored, but it is also good that you understand how to write the program. Players, score, contribution. Then this is called test1 data1, and this is called test1 data2. This is test2 data1, right? Okay, fine. So these many tables which you have it now, right? So how we'll go for doing this here? We'll say print to each of this table here. Okay. So now if we run this program, we got some error. Why? Where we got the error, guys, here? Because we got to save this file to call. Okay. So let me try this one more time. Now I got the data. Okay. So guys, you have this table which is given as, this is for your players score and players details, which I'll be taking here to my one-to-one relationship. So I have these two tables. If I run this program, I can see these two tables are coming. So in these two tables, tell me guys, what is the common field? Players ID.
Players
If you
ID.
go by players ID, what type of relations is going to build up? One-to-one.
One-to-one.
So how do you go for getting this total here? You like what? Import pandas as PD. What is the next table? Do it here, guys. You create a new table called players details all. So you like what? PD dot merge bracket start. What's to the left table for you guys here?
Player score.
Player score. What is the right table over here, guys, for you?
Players details.
This players details. And what type of relations you normally go for preferring here? How is going to be left join, because you never want to lose anything from the left table. On is what? Which column you'll go for? You'll go for players ID. Now how to call this table? You will simply go for calling the table like this. If you run this query, you get the output is coming here, guys, everyone. Can you see this? So how many records are going to come in here? Total is 8 records. Now how to go for one-to-many relationship? Now let's add some few more examples to this. In this particular, which table I'll go for? I'll go for the players details and the match score table. So I just copy this table here. And I'll also go for putting this as called match underscore score. If I run this two, I can see the output like this, where it is given as what? Your player's ID, player's name, and the expertise, along with the player's ID, the score in the match, how much they have scored. When you want to join these two tables for P1 to this table, P1 is going to be how many times? 2 times. So that means it is one-to-many relationship. So how do you go for making this one-to-many relationship? What program you write it here, guys? Tell me. Right. You will say players score details. So what do you write here? PD dot merge bracket start. What's to the left table for you guys here?
Match score.
Players details. What's to the right table here, guys? Math score. Right. And which joining you would prefer here? Again, it's going to left join. So you'll go for how is equal to left. Yes or no? Then on is equal to, what is the field name? You'll go for writing this as players ID here. Now, if you go for calling this table here, what output is going to print now? It is going to print the output as what? One-to-many relationship, where it is going to see all the players' name, players' ID, players' name, and expertise. Along with that is given the score and the match they have played for. Why it is coming P1 for 2 times? Because P1 in the players' details is given once, but in the match score table it is given 2, because the same player has played how many matches? 2 matches. So it is going to one-to-many relationship, and ultimately the output is going to come as this way. P1 for match 1, match 2, P2 for match 1, match 2, and details are coming here. Understood now? Now, if you want to go for making this as what? Many-to-one relationship. Again, you have to take these 2 tables only. But in many-to-one relationship, what will you do now? you will take this table as your left table, and this table is going to be your right table. Understood now? So how would you go for joining these two tables? Simply you write what? Players score details. Yes or no? What will write here? PD dot merge bracket start. Left table is going to what, guys, here? Match score, right? And the right table is going to what, guys, here? It is going to the players details. Can you see this? And how is going to what, guys, here? Again, left join. And on is going to what, guys, here? It is players ID. Am I going to get the good result here? Yes or no? No, I will not. I'll tell you I will not. Can you tell me why I did not get the result? No. Ah, always remember, this is what the mistake yesterday. I did it and I asked you to do it. Only three students has answered. One, he answered yesterday only, and he answered me today. He got the gift for that. Okay. So now if you run the program, you get the output is coming. Clear now? It is very much important to understand the values are very much case sensitive. Right? Even if the punctuations or the special characters, we have to be very careful about it. Okay. Now, since we have done this, many to one relationship. Next, we'll go for what? Many to many relationship. For that, which table will take it here? We'll take this two table. Understood? Right. Now, for many to many relationship, we'll be doing it here. If you run this program, what you see, guys, here? It is given as country, series, and the total score. It is given countries, the player, the scorer, and what proportion they made the score out here. That is given. If you want to join these two tables, the common field is country. Since country is duplicate, India, 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 and it is also here, India, India, India. Why India is duplicate here? Series, and why India is duplicate here? For the scorer. So that means there is no relationship between scorer and series. Hence, when it is duplicate to duplicate relationship, we call this as many to many relationship. So how to go for getting this many to many relationship output, we will be talking about it here, right? So what do you call this table name, guys, here? Tell me. Series score details. Yes or no? What do you write here? PD dot merge. Which table will call this as left table here? Series score. And what would be the right table for you guys here? It's a player scores contribution, right? And which one is going to be the how? Is always going to be left. The question is coming, why we go for left? Because we never want to lose anything from the first table. Then on is what, guys? The field name is country, right? Are you getting this, guys? Now, if you call this program out here, you can see this is what is coming now. Guys, are you getting this? Now, how to get players contribution? You have to multiply the score with what proportion? So how to get the players contribution? What will you do now? You will write this. You will add a new column to this, which is called players score. How would you calculate the player score? You will say this table of what? The field name is what? Total score. That has to be multiplied with what? Again, the same table. What is the field name? Proportion. Right? Now, if you run this program, can you see player score is coming? But I do not want to show the player score with what? Decimal values. What should I do now in this case? What will you use here, guys? Dot. Okay. So do you remember what we did yesterday for getting the percentage? What we did for getting the percentage, guys? Tell me.
Dot map.
Dot map, then uske baad lambda.
Yeah.
Can you see this? So how would you go for doing this now, guys, here in this particular example? How will you do this? Yes or no? Will it work? Now you will not take it as a percentage. So what will write here? Only 0. But will it work? What do you say? Guys, what do you think? It will work or it will not work? It will work, right? Now let's run this program and see. Does it work? Why it does not work? Because we have to use what?
Parenthesis.
One more bracket to this. So now, will it work? What is it showing here? Exponential value. So why it is happening so? Because we want to call them as number. Does it work? No, it is not taking this value. So what will do here? So can anyone tell me quickly how to get the number format with 0 decimal, 0 and F? Will it work now? Is this clear now, guys? Everyone, how to go for giving this? Okay. Now this is what we have completed about what your relationship. Now we'll have a relationship test. So what is the relationship test is given? So we have a table which is called as print test 1 data 1. Yes or no? Test 1 and data 2. If you run this program, can you see these two tables, guys? Everyone, right? Now I have a question for you. Could you please tell me
Many to many.
it is many to many relationship, right? I tell you guys, do not take stress, do not get diabetes. If you get diabetes, this kind of food will come to you. Okay, so if it is a many to many relationship, tell me how many records will come under one to one. Sorry, in or join. How many records will come? How many records will come for in or join, guys?
5 records.
15 records will come. Why it is going 15 records? Because the first step is all about alpine and lava. It is alpine,
plus
sun, and
6.
lava.
Yeah,
So for alpine
so
is going to have
9.
9 records. For lava is going to have 6 records. So 9, 6 is going to what? 15. So how should I write this program to get these guys here? So I will say printer to supply. So how will I write this? PD dot merge bracket start. The left table name is what? And the right table name is what? Test 1 data 2, right? And how will say you as what, guys? Sorry, it's a left join, or we'll go for inner join, right? We'll see what is coming here. Inner. Now on is going to what, guys? The field name is printer, right? Now how to call this table here? Perfect. So how many records are coming now? 15 records are coming. So if you go for inner join, is coming as a alpine for 9 and lava for 6 records, right? Now if you want to multiply this sales to proportion to get that what supplies. So how will you calculate the new field called supplies? So you will say this table with the new field name is what? Supplies. So how to calculate the supplies? What is the field name we'll go for?
Sales.
Sales.
Okay. Now that has to multiply with what?
Proportion.
Proportion.
Right. So I write here. Yes or no, guys? Will it work?
No,
Why it
sir.
will not work?
For the
Capital.
sensitive
The field
cell.
name is very much case sensitive. Now over this, what will you do now, guys? You will apply what? Dot map. Then now how will you write this program? As I said, guys, sometimes you have to copy this kind of format. Understood? Now, if you run this query, what do you see here? This is coming here, supplies are coming with 1000 comma separator. Understood? Right. Now this is all about your inner join. So how to go for your left join, guys? How many records will come under left join?
15.
Okay. So you are saying the left join will have how many records?
15.
Very good. Now if you go for right join, how many records will come? If you go for right
18.
join, how many records will come?
18.
18. Okay, good. Now after that, you will tell me how to get the unmatched join. Right? So if you say right join, how many records are coming? Is it coming 18? Yes or no? For this category, there is no country and the sales, right? Now, how to go for unmatched join? What we'll do here? So how to get this unmatched? You have to use outer, right? Now, once you run this outer, you get this output is coming like this. So how many records are coming? 18 records, right? Now, how to get this unmatched? What will write here in this program? How to get the unmatched?
country equal to null or
Imagine I'm not creating
proportion
any
equal to
table.
null?
I want to get the unmatched record now. Is it possible? How? How is it possible? Tell me. I can write. Then I can write which is the column is going null here. Categories or
Country.
countries null, right? So how to write this program? Print. Then what is the field name? Right? Dot. Right. If I do that, will it give me the output? Yeah. Why it is happening? So that is what I want to ask you. Can we get the output writing like this?
So it's only printing the value. Which value is matching, then it's coming true and or register false.
Sorry. Now,
Sir,
if somebody says that write this way, you will get the output. Is it true?
no, sir.
So I'm trying to help you guys understand here. If you run to print is always going by row label. You have to use the, if you want to print something as a table, you can go for, but if you go for giving some conditions, which is always going to be true or false as a Boolean value, it is not going to happen by print. So in this case, what we do here to get this output, we call this as version 1. Then we go for giving a condition of what? This, which field? What is the field name? Country dot is null. Or do you think it will work? Now we'll see.
Yes,
Why it
sir.
will not work also we'll see. I want to show you this error. Will it work? Country is null. It will come, na? Yeah, country is null here. Right? Right. So this will work or this will not work? Why it will not work? Tell me. So you want to give this condition as what? You are saying like this. You have to put this table, then you have to give this as a condition. Now if you run this program, does it give you the output? Now you understand how to go for writing the program, guys. Python, you have to do lots of practice about where to call this curly bracket, where to call this square bracket, where to use the parenthesis, and how to call the any functions you call in Python that will always come with bracket start, parenthesis starts, and parenthesis close. Anytime you call this as a variable, you will always go with what? Your square bracket. Right? Okay. Understood now, guys? Now we'll have relationship 2 test. Okay. What will print here? Print as test2 data1, and you'll also go for printing as what, guys? Test2 data2. Now if you run this program, what is happening here? Can you see this? Now as we said that we will just get unmatched records. I don't need anything, I'll just get unmatched. So what we'll do here, guys, this is something is very interesting. Okay, this is something is going to be very, very interesting here. So in both the tables, what is the common field, guys? Tell me. Sorry. So both the tables is going to have a common field of what? ID. Now what we can do here, we can go to this table, which is called as what? Test2 data2. One is ID and ID. If both the tables are having ID and ID, it is difficult for me to get a joining with two different columns. So what I have to do first, I have to go for another table where I have to call this as a rename the column. So how to go for renaming the column, guys? What you'll do here? Dot rename bracket start, and you will say what? Columns. Columns equal to, you will give this bracket with the old column name, which is that ID. And how do you want to call this column name, guys, here? Are you getting this? Then you have to use something called in place is equal to true. If you do so, now if you call this table, it is going to read this as what? ID2. So now we have to merge these two tables. Yes or no? So how would you go for merging these two tables now? You will say, let's say ID details. So you will write PD dot merge brackets at the left table is going to what, guys? Data 1. Right table is going to what? Right. And how is going to what, guys? I want to see this for inner join first. So how many records will come? Last time we saw it is 33 records will come for inner join, right? Now, how would you go for joining these two tables? You will use what? Left underscore on is equal to ID. Now, again, you will go for next is what? Right underscore on is equal to ID2. This is how you'll go for joining these two table. Now, if you go for getting this output here, how many records are coming, guys? 33. Now, if you go for this is for inner join. Now we'll go for only one. Right. Now we'll go for full join. So how to go for full join on this query, guys? Here you will just use outer. So outer, how many records will come? We expect 40 records will come. So can we see these 40 records are coming? Yes or no? Now how to get unmatched join from this query? To get unmatched, how will you make it, guys? So this is going to as what? Outer as what? The join. Now after this, you will create as what? Version 1. How would you give this here? Then, right. Then, right. Dot. Then or. Again, you will go for writing this here. Of what? So am I going to get this output here? Why will not get the output? So what is going to change here, guys? Tell me. After. Yes. That means you guys remember this now. If you run this program, you get how many records are going to come? Definitely 7. So how to make this in proper index? So if I write like this, drop is equal to what? True. Will it work? Why it will not work? Reset की spelling बार बार गलत कर. Will it run? Now you understand. You know what, in the Python interview question, what they'll ask you? In place, what does it mean? As underscore index, what does it mean? Right? And index is equal to none means what? How it is going to get the output? Reset underscore index is how it is going to work. These kind of questions they're going to ask in the interview. Is this clear now, guys? You can answer this. Now we'll talk about data model. Because you are renaming a variable. The variable name was ID and you want to call this as ID2. So you are changing from old place to a new place, new value name. So for that, you have to use the keyword called in place here. Just now we use it, right? Understood now? Okay. So guys, we have done this part. Now the next part, we're talking about data model designing. So what we'll do here, quickly we'll finish about the data model. Before data model, we should understand joining keys. If you look at this table, which is called transaction master table, and there is another table which is called customer master table. If you want to join these two tables, you'll go by what? Customer ID. So you have a product table. If you want to join by product table, how will you go for doing it? By product ID. Now, can you see something in the customer table? Customer master, customer ID is all unique. In the product master, product ID is all unique. But if you look at the transaction master table, customer ID is duplicate because the same customer has ordered multiple products in different dates. Yes or no, guys? Same thing for product also, different product, different. So they have ordered by different customers. That's why it is coming as duplicate in what? In your transaction master. If you go for joining this table, this is called as what? So normally where you see the duplication is there, we call this as the reference key or the foreign key. But wherever the unique keys, unique values are there, we call them as primary key. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Understood? So moving on to the next. When we go for designing a data model, we have a transaction master table. Yes or no? We have a customer master table. We have a product master table. Yes or no, guys? Now you go for joining this table by what? Now, when you make a relationship between transaction to the customer, transaction is called fact table. The table where you have the reference keys or the foreign keys, we call them as what? Fact table. The table where you have all the unique values, we call them as dimension table. So there are two dimension table and one is a fact table. Ultimately, the data model is going to design like this. You have a transaction master table. You have one customer master table. You have to make a relationship based on what? Customer ID, right? You have as a product master table. You have to make a relationship by what? Product ID. Now you tell me, transaction to customer, what type of relationship it is? Many to one. And transaction to the product master, what type of relationship it is? Many to one. And if you want to make transaction to store master, what type of relationship it is? And if you want to transaction to staff master, how to make a relationship it here? By staff ID. So ultimately, you have one fact table, you have dimension table 1, dimension table 2, dimension table 3, and dimension table 4. So ultimately, what is happening here? Across your fact table, if you look at your dimension tables, which is given out here, ultimately we make a relationship. Directly, all the dimension tables are connected to the fact table. Such kind of data model is called star schema data model. Clear now? But now we have a table called transaction, customer master, and this. But we also have another table which is called supplier master. Can the supplier master connected directly to the transaction master? Is there any common field? No common field. If you want to make a relationship for supplier master to the transaction, you have to go with what? Product master. So that means supplier master table is not directly connected to the fact table. There are certain data model where the fact tables are not directly connected to what? The dimension table. Such type of data model is called as what? Snowflake data model. So which one is complex in nature? Snowflakes? Snowflakes is right. Now
No.
guys, we'll have a test. Ready for the test? Tell me what type of data model it is.
Snowflake.
Very good. What type of data model it is?
Star
schema.
Okay. Joining keys. When you say customer ID is here and product ID. Now you tell me in the customer table, customer ID is called primary key or it's a foreign key? Primary key. And your customer ID in the sales table is called foreign key or reference key, right? Now the product ID in the product table is your transaction table, sales table is what? Reference
Primary
key.
key.
Reference in the sales table, but in the product table is called primary key. If somebody is going to ask you, the primary key is what? It is unique in nature and do not contain any null values. And anything is related from the primary key table to other tables, it is always going to one to one or one to many or no other relationship. It is either way, it is going to be one to one or one to many. But if it is reference table or your fact table to the customer table where it is called as a dimension table, it will always remain as many to one. And whenever the question comes about many to one, we have to go with which join? Left join. So always we design the data model using left join only. Is this clear to all of you? So now guys, we'll be doing this data model using your Python programming. So two types of data model, which is called star schema and snowflake data model. Now let's go for importing this data in this here. What will I write here? Import pandas as PD. Then import numpy as np. Then you will write what? File underscore path. Which file you want to read here, guys? Going back to the folder, if you look at the data model, it is given data model by example here. Can you see this, guys? So if I go for clicking on this particular file, I can see there are multiple tables which is given here. Okay. So we have a transaction, customer table, we have a product table, store table, staff table, and the master table. We understand about what is that? Your star schema data model. We also understood about what? Snowflake data model. Now we'll go for importing this data to what? To your Python environment. So how do you go for doing this? Simply writing here as what? What is the file name? Right. Now the first table name is what? Transaction master table. Spelling is correct? Yes. How do you go for doing this? PD dot read underscore Excel, right? Bracket start. How do you start this? File path to what? Right? So which sheet name will go for doing this here, guys? Are you getting this? Right. So you'll go for which table next? Which is the table you'll go for? Right. Next table name is what? Next is what, guys? Next is what? Staff master. Right? So the table name is yes or no? And the last table which will import also as what? Right. You call this as supply master table, right? So how to go for printing all these table guys here? Print with transaction master, right? Right. So you can call right. If you run this program, did you see this output is coming? Right. Now for star schema data model, what we'll do here, guys? We'll be taking only these 5 tables. Yes or no? We have these 5 tables, right? In this data model, we have one fact table and is connected to multiple dimension tables. Yes or no? In this case, what is your fact table here, guys? Tell me. It is the transaction master. What is your dimension table 1? Right? What is that? So it is the customer master, right? So how many dimension tables in this case?
4.
4. What are those, guys? Can you tell me? Right. So you'll be going for product master. You'll be going for store master. You'll be going for staff master. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Right. Since you have these, now we'll talk about designing the data model. So we'll say design the data model. So how will you go for design data model first? Step 1, right? So step 1, what you'll do, you cannot go for joining all these 3 tables together. You have to go one by one. First, you will go for transaction table to be merged with what? Customer table. By what is the common field? The common field is customer ID. I must see cust ID. Okay. So how to go for doing this? You will go for joining this table. Now you'll say dataset 1. You will write what? PD dot merge. Right. What is the left table is going to be here, guys? Transaction master. What is the right table is going to be here, guys? Customer master. Right. How is going to what, guys, here? Left join.
null.
Then on is what, guys? The field name is
Cust ID.
cust ID. Right. This is what? Dataset 1. Right. Now you will go for creating dataset 2. How would you go for creating dataset 2? Sorry, guys. You will say dataset 1 that has to merge with what? And what is the common field in this? Is going to be prod ID. Right. Now how to go for dataset 3 now? What do you need? Okay. What do you do with the dataset 3 here? Again, you take the and you will join by what? What is the common field here? Right. Then dataset 4. How will you get dataset 4 here? This will be connected with what? By what? Right. Now you will create as what? Final. So final output. Yes or no? So how will you get the final output here? So dataset 4, you will take it here first. Now in this dataset 4, what will you do now? You have to multiply the quantity with what? The field called price. Yes or no? So how to do that? So you will say final output, which is going to be how do you create this, guys? First you will write here. Can we write this here or shall we do something else?
We will write new column name.
Sorry.
We will write new column name.
So let's say sales over here, right? Now after this, what will do here? Is it going to create this way? No or yes? So what I want to get? I want to get the final output, right? In the final output, shall I go for writing this way or something else? We can add these two columns. That is what I want to say. So now I want to go for creating the expression first, you're saying, right? So how do you go for creating the expression here? Something is important. That's why I'm showing here, guys. So that you can understand how to create the expression. What is the field name? Quantity, right? Okay. Then what will do here? You will multiply this with what? Price. Will it work? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this here. No worry. I'll say print. Okay. If I run this query, does it work? So what to do now in this case?
So to copy the entire dataset 4 into final output first,
Okay.
then do the operation.
Now, can it be work? So how to get this? That is what I'm asking you. No, I don't want to create. I want to create in final output everything.
So
So you are
before this
saying
slide,
that you have to create something called sales here. Then you have to go for using this. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. No, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Will it work? My question is.
no, sir.
Sorry?
No,
Sir,
sir.
near
So
the
first
sales,
we have to define
sales
the
balance.
final output. We have to define the final output table, sir, first by copying the dataset 4 entirely into the final output
That
table.
is what I'm trying to
Then
help
we have
you. Is it possible directly create a variable in the new table when you are going to create it? Or it is after creating the new table, from the existing table, you have to define the new variable? Do you understand the steps? But in SAS, we can do in one go. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So that is the only difference I want to tell you here. So in this case, you have to go for creating this. To create as what? This table. Yes or no? No, no. So I'll just go like this. Right? So if I run this program,
Sir,
does it give me the output here?
Dataset 4 sales parenthesis, sir. First one. Sales, it's wrong. The quotation mark, sir.
Okay. Now will it work? What do you say? Will it work now? Is this working? It is working. Sales is coming, right? But what will happen if I say, what is the output is going to come in? Understood now? Okay. Now, I'm just trying to help you understand, guys, how to go for creating the expression. Now, since you have created this expression, I can write what? Final underscore output. I can write dot copy. That's it. Now I can call this final output here. Yes or no, guys? Is this happening? Right. Now, why I created that, I want to tell you. Because if I want to go for saving this final output as a new data set, I have to call this final output. I can create this final output here only. Right? That's not a problem. That I can do it. But I just created intentionally here so that I can show you the step by step. Now, the next step is what? After this, once you create the final output, what is the next thing we'll do it here? Let's take his word and apply the same thing over here. Chapter close. Yes or no? Okay. Now tell me, guys, how to export this table now. What will you do? To export this table, pd dot, right? So you will say how to go for exporting this data set, final output. How to go for exporting? Tell me what is the syntax for that? Final output dot to underscore excel bracket start. You can go back to your folder and you can give this final output path here. How would you give these guys here? And what's the final? Give it here. Data model 1 output, right? Dot XLSX, and after this, what we'll write here, guys? Sorry, there is no point of giving sheet name because we are sending to one Excel file. So index is equal to none. Do you understand why we are giving these guys here? Because it is going to give you the data without putting this index number to this. This kind of mistake I am doing. Okay, no problem. Right. So now if you run this program, you can see the final output has been exported to this file where there is no index number is coming to the data and data is coming to the final this. If I want to present this, why I'm getting this error here, guys? Any idea? Maybe deleted, or maybe it is not matching, right? So how to get these values in dollar format? What we'll do now? How to get this dollar format to these guys? You will use what? Dot map bracket start lambda with colon. Okay, sorry. Right? So what will you use here in this case? So how to use the dollar format? Where to write the dollar format? Before curly bracket, where to use dollar? Here? Here? Will it work? It is coming with what? The dollar format is coming. Understood? But only thing is that wherever the values are missing, it is coming as what? Now, when you exported this value, how the export is coming here, that also we'll see. This is also coming in AND. And because of this character has moved in, this entire column in Excel is also coming character. Now we have to do a correction in Excel. So it is always good to have while you're exporting the data. There is also an option in Python which will ignore such kind of error as well while you're exporting the data. But that option will take time to search. We'll leave it here. Now we'll talk about the Snowflake data model. So how to go for the Snowflake data model here, guys? So in the Snowflake data model, you have something called as what? Supplier master file, right? Now, how to go for, there is a dimension table 5. What is the dimension table 5 here? Is all about supplier master. Now, when you go for designing the data model, right? The same data model only will be replicating here. Yes or no? So how to go for doing this data model to be exported? What will you do now, guys? Here you have dataset 1 where you are connecting to what? Customer to get it. Now dataset 2 where you are connecting what? Product master. Now here in this table, you will take the data of what? This, and in this case, you will use what? Supplier master. And what would be the field here? Right. The common field name is supplier ID. Now after this, how do you go for joining this dataset? So this is going to dataset 4. In this 4, you will be connecting with what? Dataset 3 with as what? You will go to store master. By what? Store ID. Now you'll create the final output here. Yes or no? So how to get this final output? Dataset 4 with what? Staff master with what? Staff ID. Now ultimately you're going to create this and you will say data model 2 output to be exported. Yes or no? If you run this query, I will be seeing the output which is coming in data model 2 output, and there you can see the output is coming this way. Can you see this, guys? Understood? So this is how, guys, we have completed how to go for designing a data model using your Python programming. Is this clear to all of you guys? Right. So we have finished now the session 3 in Python.